Let's talk about how to be more self-determined. Hey guys, it's Gina Sue, your online life coach for go-getters. So I am stoked about this topic because I'm diving back into my positive psychology work and I'm going to share it with you. So let's talk about SDT, which in positive psychology is known as the self-determination theory. This is a type of motivation that is self-governed, and any behavior that comes with it is intentional and self-initiated, which, long story short, in normal layman terms, is we want to be more self-motivated. So being self-motivated and self-determined and intrinsically motivated is all just to say you really want to do what you want. You're being pulled to do it, not pushed to do it. Someone else isn't telling you to, not guilting you to. You're not doing it because you need the money or the status or the respect or whatever. It's just coming from within, and it's always a good feeling to be self-motivated. So I'm going to go into 3 interesting and theory-based tips as to how to practice and be more self-determined. Number 1, choices. Give yourself multiple options. Now let me explain this with an example. So let's say you have a 9-to-5 corporate job and you like it 7 out of 10. You know, you're pretty satisfied, it's a good job, it pays you well, but sometimes you wake up and you're like, man, I have to do this thing all over again. I need to finish this project so I can make my boss happy. And you start to go down this rut of like, what am I really doing here, right? Okay, so if you're in that situation, you can give yourself choices to feel more self-determined, like you actually want to work there and get those projects done. There's 2 ways of doing that. 1 is theoretically going through the choices, and number 2 is actually doing them in real life. So, for example, if I was this person stuck at this 9-to-5 job and I don't really feel intrinsically motivated, then I can think, what are my other job choices? Like, why did I decide to stay and work at this job? Well, you know, I could go work for the competitive company, or I could quit my job altogether and maybe be a freelancer. Maybe I could start my own business and be an entrepreneur. Maybe I don't work a 9-to-5. Maybe I ask to work remotely. Or maybe I just move to Thailand and become a waitress and live on, less money than I have to pay for my rent now and have a whole different life. Well, when you give yourself choices, you're actually giving yourself more autonomy, and that always leads to more self-determination and intrinsic motivation. So if you're that person and you go through that and you're like, well, actually, I like my job 7 out of 10. I get health care and my coworkers are pretty awesome, and you know what? At the end of the day, this is probably the choice I would make. That gives you so much autonomy and makes you feel more self-determined. The next day you have to get that project done, you're like, I chose to be here. Out of all the other options, this is the one I chose. So that's theoretically going through your mind. The one about doing it in real life is, hey, maybe you do move to Thailand and become a waitress, and that's even great autonomy as well, because you chose to do that thing specifically. And anytime you choose something, it's because it's self-initiated. Number 2, you want to reward your competence and not your results. You're like, Gina, what do you mean not your results? Okay, on any given day, I'd say if you have amazing results, always celebrate your wins. I'm not saying that's not a good thing, but for this specific video, because we're talking about self-determination, just follow me for a little bit on this. So, when we are extrinsically motivated, as in we want someone else to notice, it's something on the outside that's pushing us rather than us pulling to it ourselves, a lot of the times extrinsic motivation is attached to results. Let's say you won the Nobel Peace Prize and everyone's like, what? You won the Nobel Peace Prize. Like, they're excited about the title and they're attached to the win and the result. And by all means, that's super awesome and amazing. But if you want to nurture and sort of build up and grow the ability to have more self-determination, then you want to put more attention and energy into your competence, which means what you had to do to get there, the efforts you had to put in, what kind of person you had to become to achieve that result. And also, all the mistakes you made and the trials and errors you went through, all of that is your competence, which is to say, hey, what if you didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize? You just worked your butt off and there's no big title or fancy flourish that comes with it. Well, each time you can energize yourself by rewarding yourself for the competence that you gained from going through this journey. So in the future, you're driven by intrinsic motivation, as in, wow, I did this thing and I can do it again. It doesn't matter what results came from it because I am competent and I am able to move forward and sort of drive myself in my own self-initiated way. Number 3, you want to have specific and chosen people in your self-determination tribe. Now you're probably like, Gina, what the heck does that mean? All I'm saying is you want to choose specific people where you share your self-determination journey with. So here's an example. Can you think of someone, maybe a family member or a friend or a coworker, that is very much driven by extrinsic motivation for you? Like someone who just wants you to win that award, or maybe a parent who just wants you to bring home a good grade. Someone who's like, you gotta go to the good school for the title or the result, or so that other people respect you. Now there's nothing wrong with that person or your relationship with them or anything like that. All I'm saying is that you have to be able to determine which type of people in your lives are more extrinsically or intrinsically motivated. And this is the next step, is when you interact with them, you'll know when to take what they say with a grain of salt. So what I mean is, when you have an intrinsic win, let's say, and you want to celebrate and nurture the fact that hey, I did this and I want to be more self-motivated. If you're about to go talk to someone who is extrinsically motivated, don't take everything they say in like you're a dry sponge and just soaking it up and being worried about all the extrinsic factors. So when you are meeting with someone who's intrinsically motivated and your personal inner happiness is what makes them the most happy and they're most concerned about your well-being, then those are the people that you can really open up and relax and just talk through your journey with. And I think this is actually a really important skill that Tony Robbins talks about, is we have all sorts of people in our lives. We just need to know, these are the friends I like to go party with and have fun and gossip and whatever, but these are the friends I want to talk about heart-to-heart, serious, deep life talks. One friend is not better than the other, it's just that different people satisfy different needs in your life. And the more you're aware of which categories they fall in, the better it is for you to be able to understand where and when you can, take in their advice or their energy, or when you can just let it all go. So this is very important for intrinsic self-determination, because you want to share your wins around this topic with those people in your tribe. So there you have it. We talked about the self-determination theory in positive psychology, which is just to say, how can you make yourself more self-motivated? You've got choices, you've got rewarding your own competence, and building your self-determination tribe and knowing who those people are in your life. I really hope this video was helpful, you guys. Please write in the comments below what you thought of it. Which one is your favorite tip and which one will you start trying to do today? Personally, I love the choices one. I do it all the time, and so I hope this will help you in feeling more self-determined, and I hope you're living your best life out there. You guys, thank you so much for watching my videos. I truly appreciate it. I don't do it for any money. It's pretty intrinsically motivated. So the more you support, like, and subscribe, the more it would mean to me, and that is what keeps me going and keeps me making more videos. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in next week's video. Bye!